What's going on, guys? Ball here. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to do a quick preview of the Blast Open Spring in Rotterdam. Very stacked, by the way. I think it has 9 of the current H2 top 10. I think not a single team skipped the initial 12 invites. This is a very stacked event for which all the teams you would want to watch, with exceptions like I think no Foot in attendance, no Shots. Obviously, both made top 4 Pro League, but those are very recent developments. So very stacked event, a ton of top teams. Just previewing the groups. I'll do playoffs when it happens. And so let's get into it. Fury playing Tyloo. Fury in a sample form, but that is Tyloo. Tyloo haven't played a land official this year. They haven't played land official with this new lineup. They haven't played land official since stage 2 of the major. And that was in like late November. They haven't played land official in like 3 months. So Fury should be able to handle that, no issues. Aurora phased. Aurora just made the final Pro League. They're 3 for 3 in like proper playoffs on land this year. Sorry, four actually, because Barry's also online. Sorry about that. But still, 3 straight playoff finishes, including a final. Logically, this should be a clean one for Aurora. I will say for FaZe, this is probably the best opening draw you can get relative to how bad you are. Aurora do play some pug ECS. I think the calling slightly improved relative to how bad they looked at the end last year, even despite a Bucharest win. But like Aurora will go for aim fights. They'll go for some duels. Aurora should still win, probably 2-0. But Aurora don't have the defense. Map pool FaZe can go for like a weird Mirage punish if they want. May FaZe try to pull out the bag, something like Nuke. I wouldn't mind that, but otherwise I think they shoot Aurora 2-0. Now we play Bait. They played 3 best 3s of these cores. They played 4/5 of the Bait Lab twice back at the major in stage 2 and stage 3. It was the 2-0 game in stage 2. It was the 2-2 game in stage 3. And they played best 3 with the full Bait 5 with Sizzy. Back in Pro League, I think it was the 1-1 game. And every time Navi won 2-0. So this should be a Navi 2-0. And I'll just play Falcons, even with Kyosuke as a stand-in. Yes, I mean, the series they played Krakow was close. Nucleons, at least as a stand-in, they played with. They beat Vitality in a series. They even looked okay in that final against PV. I think the second, third map were 13-11s. They actually looked all right in that final. And those better teams than NRG. NRG's recent form, I know they changed Grim recently, but they look so bad at Pro League despite almost being nipped that I'm like, I think even with Nucleons they can win that. Fear will then play Aurora. The last 3 times they played, Fear has won, and the last 2 times have been 2-0s. I mean, the 2 times they won 2-0 were in playoffs, and one of them's in Krakow. This is Studio. And Fear's form was questionable enough where I think Aurora can win a map, but Fear should still handle it. It's a comfortable opponent, no issues at all. Falcons versus Navi. Navi's form should say, in considering Falcons have standing, I think, Navi should win. But even with Nucleons, I think Falcons should outgun them too hard. And here's the thing, if we get the Makazu we saw at Pro League, if we get the wonderful we saw in the final, and even at times in the playoffs, if we get like some turn back the clock late 2024 bit, for example, and then Emma just has to be my 4th best player, the Navi can actually keep up with Falcons firepower wise. Especially because Kyosuke is a group stage merchant, and he's not gonna be here. But like, if Wonderful goes back down to earth and Kaza goes back down to earth, this year Nico and Mossy, especially the Nico we saw at Bounty, can kind of pug their way through this game. I actually think Falcons can win regardless, right? Tyler play FaZe. I think even with FaZe's struggles, they could beat Tyler who hasn't played on lane with this lineup. I think they could just about get over. They even played back at CAC when they had the old lineup for Tyler specifically, and FaZe won 2-1. So I think realistically FaZe should still win that. It won't be free, but I think FaZe should still win. Bait played versus NRG. They played at Krakow. Now maybe that was when they had Seikawa instead of Sizzy, and NRG won 2-1, but it was the ugliest 2-1 ever. And it was also back when NRG had George instead of Grims. This is actually a hard game to call. I think my heart says Bait 2-1. I think Sizzy can be a better option for OC. I think OC overperformed so hard at Krakow. Like that was some life games for him. Like the OC wasn't even as good in Team Liquid against like comparable opponents. That's overperformance. I think Bait should be able to handle that. And that means that FaZe would play, I believe, Navi. Fun enough, this is actually a rematch from the major actually with the exact same lineups. But this is Studio. It's not. This isn't Arena semifinal FaZe Clan. Navi looked much improved at Pro League. Navi even looked like pretty decent at Cluj, despite some key losses. They didn't look bad at that event. And so, even with FaZe, it's like, oh, they're in like magical form somehow. I think Navi have enough quality where they can outlast them. And that's how that FaZe map pool so died. The one map FaZe win record on is Dustwood believe they're 5-1 this year. Navi showed across both the semifinal and the final against Foot and Aurora, 2 teams who do play Dust 2, by the way, that they absolutely have the quality to play. They can start CT. Navi CT on that map. You saw against G2 at Pro League, they can lock down CT. They crushed G3 matches they try to pick against them. Navi are pretty competitive on it, and there's no map in this pool. I think that like Navi's an underdog, so there should be a 2-0 for them. Then there should be of Fear playing Falcons in the seeding game, yes, at Cluj, Falcons did win. But that was, again, Kyosuke, group stage merchant. Kyosuke farmed that series. Like, he farmed so hard in that game. That with Nucleon, I think Fear can outlast him, actually. I think Fear just enough quality to win 2-1. Should be one of the better games in the group, though. And then Navi will play Aurora. I think the record's 1-10. Navi should win 2-0. So, that's Group A. Then we go to Group B. This one is way more open because of who gets out. Mao's playing Mongols. I'll talk about that one first because Vitality will just go destroy 9Z. I don't need to digress it. It's Vitality. Mao's Mongols. If this is with Mara, this would be a decent-ish, like an alright game. But without Mara, this is a stomp. It's already like a really one-sided record, even with Mara. But without him, I think there's no chance. Vitality will just gonna stomp Mao's again. Mao's map pool has improved. Like they've improved their Mirage. They've improved their Overpass. They actually have won the odd ancient game here and there. They've actually improved their map pool since Cluj, honestly. So that they actually could play a couple different maps. The problem is Vitality's map pool is absurd. I think they have if we're not counting ancient, they have 4 maps with a 100% win rate this year. Like they're too good. Nope, Vitality wins 2-0. This bottom half bracket, interesting note. Paravision play Nip. PV should win, but Paravision looked weak enough at Pro League where it's not impossible, and Nip just won a tournament. It's not impossible. PV should win though. And PV eating as underdogs do like to make some 13-11, a lot of clown show moments. So there should be at least a slightly competitive series. Spirit versus New Look Team Liquid. If it's Spirit before Pro League, we just saw what they did at Krakow and Bounty. This should be a quick 2-0, and this is the old Team Liquid loss, so this would be a quick 2-0. But it makes the Team Liquid haven't shown any officials because they didn't even play with mobs at the Roman Imperium event. They played with JL obviously, and they lost. It got 4th. And this Spirit looked pretty flat at Pro League, getting stomped out by Astralis. And if like it's not impossible, Spirit should win 2-0, but I'm like that the game that at least worth considering. And then Spirit vs Paravision, this is a rematch for Bounty that Paravision won. Interesting thing to consider is the fact that Paravision map pool is really weird. It's like they don't have like a really solid home map besides Dust 2, and Spirit want to play Dust 2. So that probably would be the side. I think Spirit fumbled the veto last time because they went for a Mirage pick. At the time, Paravision's record on it wasn't great. I think they had been eating losses recently on it. But that's still. And then Paravision's recent record on it has been bad. But Spirit are world beers on Mirage. They can bleed losses on it. They got stomped by Bait back at Pro League on it. They're not world beers. So this feels like a shake hands, like Ancient, Overpass, like Dust 2 type veto. Like for the most part, Spirit has to do Inferno, Paravision has Nuke, that type of thing. I think PVision actually can win 2-1 again. I actually think they can do it. It sounds weird because how up and down the team is, but I think Paravision actually can steal that. I think I got them winning that. And then Vitality plays Paravision. Even if it's Spirit, I think Vitality just stomps everyone in that group. Unless proven otherwise, I'm assuming Vitality would just 2-0 everyone in front of them, or 3-0 everyone in front of them, unless proven otherwise. Vitality should give me no reason to doubt them. They have the best. I think Flames is playing on par with Donk this year. Or at least Flames is closer to Donk, especially considering the resources that Flames play with Mac 10s and stuff like that. Where it's actually a conversation, like relative to value, Flames is like almost as good as Donk right now. Anzai was the best player in the world. Robs has been having a chill ass year, and they still don't even need him. Like Apex is fragging way better than he was late last year. Like unless proved otherwise, Vitality should just win their group easily. Like it shouldn't even be a contest. The two teams that give them the most trouble, Fear and Falcons, are in the other group. This is the best group draw Vitality realistically can get, especially that semifinal draw of Mongols Mouse. But that's amazing draws. But still, 9Z will play Mongols. Even without Mara, that's a quick 2-0 and a handshake. Nip versus Team Liquid. Funnily enough, they played 2 series against each other. One was the Crimbo just standing up for NAF, and both times TL won. The Crimbo one especially was a convincing 2-0. So even with Mauls being a new addition, Team Liquid should actually stop that. That should be a pretty free win. Mongols would then play Spirit. With Mara, this would be at least a contest. I can at least imagine this would be a game. But without Mara, this is a quick Spirit win. And then Maus would then play, I think, TL. Maus easily wins that. Maus Foot is a much better team than Team Liquid. Don't not make that Foot loss, which came out is a close 3 Maus, by the way. Probably the best series of that tournament. Don't make that loss thinking Maus are playing bad counter. No, Maus are not close to Team Liquid. And then Maus will then play a Spirit. Head-to-head favors Spirit. Maus is more consistent than Spirit, but I think in a group stage, I actually think Maus can steal that. I think Maus will get 3rd. It's a hard one to call, but I actually think in a group stage context, there's no because every time they play, even that 2-0 game at the major was at least fun of a crowd. This will be purely in a studio, and in a studio I think Miles outlasts him. So recap the groups. Sorry, recap the group. Sorry, Fury first, Falcon second, Navi third in Group A. And Group B will be Vitali first, Paravision second, Spirit, no, Miles third. You guys do enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.